everybody, welcome back. If you're new here, hi, I'm Mercury. Welcome to my channel. It's my daily vlog, so whatever I happen to be up to is what you're gonna see here. And it's dinner time and I'm getting hungry. My tummy is a rumbling. So I wanted to make something quick and easy, and I found a recipe on a website called Taste of Home for a curry tofu and rice dish. Now I can't have rice, and there's some other ingredients in the recipe I either can't have or don't have at home. So I'm going to be making a few modifications to the recipe, but I will put the original recipe in the description of this video. But I am going to be making some modifications to it, and we'll review the recipe even though it's not quite the exact recipe, but we'll see how this recipe turns out. So let's go to the kitchen. So my ingredient lineup is a packet of tofu, onion, garlic, salt and pepper. That's a can of coconut milk. There we go. Got some curry powder, and I love the Penzeys brand. Got some oil and some lentils. Okay, and the original ingredients from the recipe is the tofu, salt, canola oil. I have olive oil instead. Garlic, coconut milk, cilantro. I don't have any cilantro right now, but I'm hungry, so I'm going without the cilantro. Curry powder, salt, pepper, and brown rice, which I substitute the lentils. So I feel like it's close enough that I can kind of review this recipe and see if it works for me, and if it's a recipe that's good enough to modify if you follow the IBDA diet. So it's good to know. So let's get cooking. Okay, whenever I cook tofu, the first thing you have to do is you have to drain the liquid out. So, whoops, oh, I'm making messes. So I slit the wrapper open, and I should have done this over the sink because it's splashed, but we're gonna drain that. Then on my plate, I got some paper towels. I'm gonna put a couple of paper towels down, right there. And we're gonna put the tofu right there. And I'm gonna take a couple more paper towels. I'll flip this up, I'll flip that up, I'll put these paper towels down this way, and they can go around the sides like that. And then I take a big old cast iron and just place that gently on top. And what this is going to do, it's going to push out some of the moisture that the tofu has absorbed, so that way when it cooks it gets a little bit crispier and less mushy. So while the liquid was pressing out of the tofu, I chopped up the onion and the garlic. And now we're going to unwrap this tofu. Yes, there we go. Now I'm going to chop the tofu into little cubes. So let me move this over. And we go down the middle, so that's in half. And then we go in half again. And then half again. And then we go this way. And we go down the middle. And then half. And then half. And then we have these little cubes. So then the recipe says to apply a little bit of salt. Okay. Now the next step is we're going to saute the tofu, and we'll do that in a non-stick skillet. Okay, so I'm going to take a little oil. Recipe called for non-stick spray, but I don't use the spray, so I'm just going to take a little drop of olive oil. Boop. Okay. And I'll just slide that around my pan. We'll let that warm up, and then we'll start to saute the tofu. Also, while the tofu is sauteing, I'm going to have my lentils, and I'm going to cook them in the water. It's a 3-to-1 ratio, so if you're using a cup of lentils, it's 3 cups of water. So I'm going to prepare my lentils in the 3-to-1 ratio in a separate pot while everything else is cooking. Now the recipe says once it's golden brown, you can remove them from the pan. We have some golden brown tofu. So they're going to come out of the pan now, and I'm going to put them on a plate to the side. And next up, we're going to saute the onions and the garlic. We're going to add a little bit more oil to the pan. And in goes the onion. I always start the onion first because the onions cook slower than the garlic. So you put the garlic and the onion in at the same time, you'll end up with really brown garlic and not fully cooked onion. Now that the onions are starting to get translucent, so I could start to see through them a little, like you could see on this onion here, I could kind of see through it a little bit. What we're gonna do, we're gonna add that garlic in now. Now I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of salt and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. I'll give that a mix. Now I'm going to add a full teaspoon of the curry powder. I love the way this curry powder smells and tastes. This is good stuff. Okay, now I'm going to give that a mix. Now I'm going to shake up my coconut milk and add 1/2 cup. It says to give that a mixy mix, and it says to bring it to a boil, then drop it to a simmer and let it cook for 4 or 5 minutes. So this is the boil. I'm going to drop that heat and bring it down to a simmer. So it's been about 4 or 5 minutes and the sauce is really thickened up. So now I'm going to add in the tofu and mix it all up. So the tofu and the sauce are done. So the last step is to plate it with the brown rice, but I can't have rice, so I made the lentils. So I think my lentils are also finishing up. So I'm gonna plate some dinner. So dinner's ready. So I'm excited, this smells really delicious. Let's give it a try. So let me get some tofu with some lentils, get a little everything in one bite. It's really delicious. It's warm and creamy, and not temperature warm, but like a warm flavor without, it's not hot, it doesn't have a bite, but it's like soul warm, like it feels good going down. It's just delicious, and oh yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this. Let me have a second confirmation bite. Let me take another taste here. I can see how the cilantro could elevate this. Next time I make this, I will make sure to have cilantro on hand. This is great. This is great. I would recommend this recipe. This is delicious. Again, the link to the original recipe is in the description of the video, but I would absolutely do this again. My only, I guess, letdown in this recipe is the sauce is very thick and is enough to coat the tofu, but it's not enough to like be runny on the rice or the lentils in my case. So if you want a curry that's gonna really saturate through that rice or lentils, you need to probably double the sauce portion of it. So that's the coconut milk, onions, garlic, curry powder, salt and pepper, and the coconut milk. So it's pretty straightforward, but if I were to do this again, I would definitely double the amount of the sauce for the amount of the rice or lentils being used, because it coated all the tofu, but it tastes so good. I want it to be in those lentils also. So I'm gonna go finish my dinner, and I hope that everybody has a wonderful evening. I hope you're eating something yummy, and I will see you all tomorrow. And until then, stay inspired by everyone. Take care.